Thanks for joining us. This is Sarah with Ruffles and Rain Boots, and today we're making an adorable leprechaun hat centerpiece. Little vase goes inside, all hidden and cute. Okay, so we're just going to start out with some basic craft supplies. I picked up a snowman's hat on clearance this time of year, black and green paint, a ruler, scissors, a razor blade, and some paintbrushes, and a little tiny scrap of gold cardstock. I use gold glitter cardstock. And what we're going to do is we're going to rip off the holly and berries because we don't need those. And then we're going to also use the razor blade to get on any of that extra hot glue off. And so you can see there it's smooth, and then we're just going to start painting it. I painted the top, the sides, and even the brim because it would show when it's sitting on my table. And I used 2 coats, so you may not need 2 coats, but I felt that it needed 2 coats to be really bright green. And so next up, while that's drying, I just cut out a 3 by 2.5 inch rectangle, and then you can see my measurements there. I just cut out the center with a razor blade and then cut out the rest of it with some scissors. Super easy, super simple. Now what I'm doing here is I'm measuring as to where we need to put our black hat band, and I'm just going to be painting it on with a foam brush and a flat brush so that it's mostly even. I mean, you can get out your blue painter's tape and do this to an exact form. I did not. Okay, so all I'm doing here is putting down the major portion of the black paint, kind of trying to stay in my estimated lines. But what I'm going to do is to clean up those edges is I'm going to use, instead of the foam brush, I'm actually going to use a flat brush. Maybe it's 1 inch or so, and I just ran that along the edges to get a pretty clean line. Again, I didn't go for perfection, you do you. Alright, so after that has dried, that didn't take very long to dry at all, I just hot glued on the gold buckle. But you can also use like E6000 or even craft glue would keep this guy on. It's super simple to get on. And so I just lined it up, put it where I wanted to put it, and then moved on to the next bit after it dried. And that next bit is a little kind of tricky. What I did is I used a vase. It's actually a pub glass that got all scratched up. So I use it as a vase, and I just traced the outline of the biggest part of the cup, poked a hole in the center with scissors, and then I used my razor blade to sort of make a wagon wheel or a kind of spoked wheel, and that made it super easy to just push down and then cut out each of these triangles. Like I said, it didn't take very long. I did this when my daughter was crafting at the table, so we're not talking it takes a long time, but it was super easy to do. Again, I used a razor blade and scissors. Okay, so once that's done, all I did was cleaned up the edges. I dropped my vase in, and then I made my arrangement, and you can see it here. It's super simple with some greenery. I love eucalyptus and some Gerbera daisies. Hey, thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe to Ruffles and Rain Boots for more crafty fun.